Good morning everyone and welcome to our presentation. So as you can see on the screen, our topic for today's discussion is all about accounting equation. So nakafamiliar na ba mo sa term or word na accounting equation? So accounting equation is also called a balance sheet equation. So it represents the assets, liabilities, and owner's equity of a business or a person. So it is also the foundation for the double entry bookkeeping system. So for each transaction, no, kay dapat ang total debits is equal siya sa total credits. So nga naman nga dapat gyud na equal ang total debits to total credits. So the reason of this is kanang every accounting transaction magod is it is said to be in balance. So for instance nga dili balance ang imuhang account transaction or imuhang account is kanang it would be very difficult no nga maka-create ka, or it would not be possible to create a financial statements. So in addition of that, sa accounting equation is naa ni siya tulo ka buok na elements. So the first elements is the assets, the second one is the liabilities, and the third one, which is the last one, is the owner's equity or shareholders equity. So now, let's proceed to the value parted with and value received and value parted with. So the amount of value received will always equal with the amount of the value parted with. So first, unsa man ni siyang value received? So kining value received is praise ni siya nga commonly used in a bill of exchange, deed, promissory note, or other contract. So in every transaction, no, there is a value received and a value parted with. So for example, no, is when an equipment is acquired for 20,000, so the buyer receives an equipment with a peso value of 20,000 pesos and parts away with his cash of 20,000. So this means nga ang seller is naka-receive of 20,000, no, 20,000 cash and parts away with the equipment nga ang selling price is 20,000 pesos pod. Unsa man ni siyang value received? Debit ni siya or credit? So the answer of this question, no, is kaning value received is debit ni siya, and on the other hand, no, is the value parted with is credit ni siya. So since we are done discussing about the value received equals value parted with, no, so now let's proceed to the debit is equal to credit. So but before that, unsa man ni siyang debit? So when your account is debited for instance, no, so it means nga imuhang the money is taken out from your account. So on the other hand, kaning credit is, the meaning of credit is kanang ang imuhang account is nabdungagan siya o kwarta. So the amount entered on a debit side of an item's account will always have a corresponding amount entered on the credit side of another item's account. Hence, the amount of debit will always equal to the amount of credit. So na-discuss na nako na ganina, no, nga dapat jud ang imuhang total debits is equal siya sa total credits, no, kay tanan every accounting nga transaction is always to be said nga in balance siya. So for instance nga dili siya mabalance is it would not be possible, no, to create a financial statements. So now, let's proceed to the assets equals liabilities plus capital. So ang liabilities and capital are called equities or equities. This means nga ang assets sa isa ka business as a separate entity is pwede siya mag-claim sa both outside creditors and the proprietor himself. So pwede po ni siya ma-state, no, as a assets is equal to equities. So kini sad na equation, no, is ginagamit if the proprietor himself kay gusto niya mahibalan kung pila ang iyahang ma-claim over the assets of the business. So mao lang na siya sa assets equals equities. So now let's proceed to the assets minus liabilities is equal to capital. So understandable na kaayo ang equation now nga assets kung unsa ang pagmamay-ari sa isa ka business, so sa isa ka business or isa ka company, no, is less than na siya or i-minus na siya kung unsa ang mga utang sa isa ka business. Then pag imuha nang na minus, no, is ang equal ato is kanang kung unsa na lang ang nabilin sa isa ka business, so which stands for the capital, no, and which is the claim over the proprietor himself.